The Podical sound.
Podcast, you can't win. Talking a good game, you can't win. Topics never lame, you can't win. Win.
Not your average Joseph. Marvelous.
It's ridiculously funny, but funny.
Welcome back to the best no judgment zone space and works. Neither one of us had any law degrees. I am Marvelous.
And I'm not your average Joseph.
And we are the Podical Sons. So let's start the show. How you feeling?
I'm recovering. I'm recovering. What about you?
Aren't we all? Aren't we fucking all? Good wedding though. Good wedding.
It was a good wedding. Listen, man, I think weddings, and I think you might be able to squeeze bar mitzvahs in there too.
Who, me?
I think you might be able to squeeze
for MCing.
For MCing, I think you might be able to squeeze bar mitzvahs in there too. I mean,
man.
You kept it tame enough.
I can keep it tame. I think people don't. He has little faith in me,
right?
So a lot of people and stuff, whatever. It's like they're afraid when I touch a mic. I got a warning from my sisters and stuff at my father's funeral.
Yeah,
this ain't your podcast. Okay, I wasn't gonna treat it like that. And then after, it was like, "Hey, wedding. It's not your podcast though, so go and take." I'm like,
you come with warning. You come with warning. You got a warning label.
No faith in me. I guess so. I guess. I'm tame, man. Like, I was gonna say, like, grab the mic, be like, we're gonna abort missions today. Dwayne Wade and versus Rowena. I ain't say nothing like that. I kept it tame. I kept it tame. I could.
And you know what? The crowd looked like it was that type of crowd that probably would have been receptive.
Yeah. They were with the shits.
Yeah, they were with the shits. They were with the shits, man. It was a nice wedding.
So salute to the bride and groom.
Salute to the bride and groom.
Appreciate you guys and stuff like that, most definitely. Recovery mode. We old folks.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. I think the denial piece and stuff is like, oh, I'm gonna be young forever. I'm gonna be old. Shut the fuck up. Just make peace. The fact that your body can't do certain type of things like what it used to do and stuff before.
Right.
I think for me, the only thing I'm afraid of right now, like because I'm getting older, I haven't been on a roller coaster in a while. And I fucking love roller coasters.
Yes.
I used to.
Yes.
But the older you get, the more fluids start to build up and stuff in your ears. So your equilibrium and stuff, like something you could probably like live like a thrill seeker and stuff with her before.
Right.
No problem.
Right.
Shit, I want to see what I look like at 37 going on. Like some, what's the thing at Cedar Point? Top Tail Dragster or some shit like that, where this bitch is like 125 miles per hour. Yeah, I think I might have a brain aneurysm.
And that's the funny part about it too, right? Because so much advancements in technology has gone into roller coasters since the last time. Since the last time I've been on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
So yeah, those loop-to-loops are not normal loop-to-loops. No.
Yeah, you're broken.
Yeah.
I seen one on the gram and stuff with her. I'm looking like, what the hell is this? I was like, they're like, would you ride this? I'm like, the thrill seeker in me says yes, but the old ass man approaching 40 saying, fuck no, are you dumb? Can we survive that?
I mean, forget about the roller coasters. Just like the average carnival ride. And like the old time Tilton Squirrel.
Yeah.
Tilton Swirl. Do you see the remix to that now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those don't look like normal rides anymore.
Is that one thing? I always like that Gravitron shit.
The
one where you're spinning so fast, eventually the seats just slide up a little bit.
Yes.
I seen some motherfuckers one time, it was damn near empty. And it was going, and I was like, oh shit, you can't move because your arms, like, the gravity.
You're pinned. You try to...
Motherfuckers and stuff, whatever. I guess because no one was right by them.
Right.
Just laid across like this. They're posing. Another friend's taking photos. I'm like, are these Super Saiyans? Like, I don't understand. Like, this is rocking me a type of way. I'm like, you know what? And much as like, I don't know if I'm ready to even do all that type of stuff because, hell, I think the funniest thing is that you sleep wrong. You sleep wrong and stuff. Or you feel like you got like some kind of neck problems for like 2 days. You want to challenge these things?
Yeah.
It's against my religion.
I was telling my boy Hutch, salute to Hutch, man. He was complaining about how he cricked his shoulder the other day. And I told him that I was doing a dance move and I cricked my neck for about a month.
You don't tell people the truth though.
Yeah.
You told people the truth? This is your only confession.
This is my confession right now. This is my confession. Listen, I cricked my neck for about a good month, and I was like, can't dance like I used to. Can't dance like I used to. There you have it, man. There you have it.
Old age.
But I mean, with age comes wisdom too, right? So you kind of know how to maneuver yourself in those situations.
With age comes, you tend to know your friggin' limits.
Right, exactly.
Then, which is a great thing.
I mean, before we went anywhere, it was like, yeah, so drinking is going to be involved, so we're not driving. We're young and reckless. You trying to weigh how much you can get in before you get behind the wheel and kind of still have your focus. Nah, we're not even about that life no more. It's like, nah. We know we're going to drink. We're not driving.
Right? Man, police is everywhere now.
That's the other thing.
They're everywhere.
That's the other thing.
All right, man. Let's get to some of these polls. First poll was, is catcalling disrespectful? And 62% said yes. Talk to things. Tell me how you feel.
I wonder how many of those who said yes have actually been catcalled that.
What do you mean?
Because, again, like, depending on your nature, you might enjoy a catcall.
I enjoy a catcall.
I enjoy a catcall.
It's not disrespectful. I had a lady tell me, like, I had a purple shirt on. She's like, what's up, hunk of chocolate wrapped in that purple... What is it? It's a purple company and stuff. She said
it's Cadbury. Cadbury has the purple wrapper.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's like, what's up, you hunk of chocolate and your Cadbury wrapper? I was like, stop this. Go on, though. Flattery will get you everywhere, my friggin'
I was at a stop sign and I must have looked up my rearview mirror and spotted something on my face and fixed it. And this lady pulled up beside, oh, don't worry, honey. You look good already. I was like, let me drive on my merry way.
Okay, so the catcalling and stuff that other people, I get the 62% are saying like was disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a borderline between catcalling and harassment.
Yes.
That's what the problem and stuff lies. And I think...
Also the type of catcalling, because...
Tell me the types now.
Well,
things.
You have... Oh my gosh. Did an angel fall from heaven? That is all right.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have, oh, you sexy motherfucker. I mean, not be all right.
Yeah, because I feel like some people don't know the balance.
Right.
And don't know, like, to gauge some type of things. Like, okay, like the pickup line thing we were talking about one time. We spoke about pickup lines and stuff before. And I think with the pickup lines, the joke that killed me and stuff is that some people have an issue with, like I wanted to say, with pickup lines in general. But I'm looking like, how do you know to gauge or check the temperature or anything like with somebody you don't know?
Right.
Now, if we're talking about, like, let's say old school construction worker, attractive woman walking past and they're whistling a yo baby and everything like that, I think from one side, there's one type of, like, like let's say one side is looking at like, trying to get her attention, and the other side looking like these freaking guys are monsters. But some people don't even get a compliment no more. I mean, like, look at the progression of the whole Me Too thing.
Yeah.
I always felt the type of way and stuff with the Me Too thing, because I'm looking, I'm like, the Me Too is going to send not only some of the bad ones kind of on alert, but like if you're extra good before, you're like in a back now, because you're looking like before you know how to gauge the conversation, approach and stuff like that.
It.
And now you're looking like, wow, I find this person attractive.
Right.
And what do you say? Like, I had a nurse and stuff at the hospital, whatever, right? One day I bobbed into a room. She's like, you smell so good. Not, I'm trying to pick you up on everything. Calm down. You good?
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
You good?
No,
I appreciate it.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. You don't got to explain anything.
Yeah. She's like, I don't want your woman. I'm like, wait, calm down. How do we get that far?
Right.
Just say, I like how you smell. Done.
That's it.
I find you attractive. Done.
That's
now,
it.
If you're going into these different charts and stuff, this is now changing it now. It now goes, like I said, from catcalling to probably like, harassment.
Right.
Because if it's kind of like, I wanna hump on you from 7 days to Saturday or something like that, and the person you do not know,
yes.
that's a different story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I get it. Some women, if they get the cat call, I don't know what it's like to be an attractive woman, you know, being hollered at and everything like that.
Yeah.
As a decent looking dude, though, you know. Please amp up the cat calls.
I mean, I don't frown or reject.
I don't.
I don't frown or reject.
I don't. I just, you know, I gauge. I know my. Well, I can't. You know, because you know, especially you're spoken for. Right. So you gauge and stuff. You're like, all right. Well, I can't. You know, my wife. And then my girl says, so she said this one day. She said, motherfuckers don't care if they're in a relationship and stuff or not. But then it's up to me
to exactly
to entertain or to shut down the entertaining and stuff like that, right? And so that's what I'm saying. You as now a person getting cat calls and stuff, if you're looking like, all right, buddy, you went too far. I think that's enough.
Right.
You shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
You got to teach people how to treat you. So if they're cat calling, like say construction workers, if they're cat calling and stuff and they're not saying anything, or if it's the fear. Allegedly, I always hear like it's the fear, and I don't doubt that some women and stuff fear, but I feel like some women and stuff will be like, no, this is some bullshit. We're gonna shut this shit down. Or someone will be like, I can't believe I was walking past a construction site and there was like 8 of those guys talking to me. And they tell their one girlfriend, like, which construction site?
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's the fuck go.
Let's go teach. Let's go teach them.
Yeah, let's go. Excuse me. You do not talk to a woman. I'm like, I run into more G-checking levels than anything else. Right. I don't appreciate like if a dude's trying to cat call
right
to a woman and she's not entertaining it, and then they go turn to like the favorite, well, fuck you then, bitch. Like that one is that one is stuff, whatever. Again. And I hope set woman or set person puts that person in a place like a real estate agent.
Yeah.
To let them know like this, all right, you went too far, you're in the wrong now.
Right.
Cease and desist.
Yeah. You think in certain situations, it may depend on who's doing the cat calling?
Of course.
Yeah.
It always is. It was talking about like being liked, right? Because, you know, well, I'm the midget Idris, but let's say if it's a real Idris.
Right.
And he probably was a cat call a woman and everything like that. They probably be like, just because you're some tall, British, dark-skinned celebrity, I'm not going to take that.
Do you so happen to have a purple Cadbury shirt?
Right. So they move different and stuff like that for like depending on who. I heard one woman say this one day. She was telling me, she's like how she say I mentioned like a restaurant or a club or something like that.
All right.
She was so funny. She came in and stuff with her into the thing. She's like, oh, I like going to that place. They got nothing but some ugly ass men trying to talk to you. I'm like, well, damn. So I'm like, what if they were good looking? Would you mind if they were talking to you? She's like, I would hope they were good looking if they choose to talk to me. So
and there you go.
Case in point.
Yeah. Case in point.
Case in point. So 62%, 63%, I do understand where you guys are coming from, whatever, but I feel like that's not all levels. And I feel like you got to teach people how to treat you. Like I said, I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
yeah. So, I mean, even when I got that compliment, I was once married. And when I was married and stuff like that, I didn't entertain that lady. I just like, I'm mind my business here. She tried to pursue. It turned into basically bootleg harassment, but I didn't like, how dare you?
Right.
It was like, when she came to talk, I'm like, oh, I appreciate the compliment.
Right.
I'm married.
You didn't show your disgust at all. You know, you kept your disgust inside.
No, I think the thing is that my disgust kind of came in. I'm like, I'm married, I'm good, I'm flattered, and I had the wedding band on, right? So I had the wedding band on and stuff, whatever. She said, all men cheat. I don't cheat. I've never cheated before. Like, that's where like it went from catcalling to harassment and stuff. I'm like, you don't fucking know me.
Exactly.
I don't cheat.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Now you put this big ass statement on my species and stuff like that. And then she's like, I was like, that's not true. She's like, all men cheat. Eventually they're gonna cross over. And then she hit off with the fab line. Andre isn't good unless there's something on the side. I'm looking like, shooters are shooting out here. She kept going. I'm like, well, I'm gonna get back to my squad. I was like, wow. I was like, holy. And then my boy was there to witness that. He's like, she couldn't take a hit. And I was like, maybe this is how the women feel. That's what I said. I'm like,
I don't doubt it.
I'm like, thank you, appreciate it. I'm good. Yeah. You're better with me. All right. Calm down.
Leave it alone.
Calm down.
Step away from the chocolate.
Right. The next poll was, is college necessary in today's times? And 61% said, nope, not anymore. Talk the things.
It's funny because when you first posted it and I went in and I looked at what was going on, it was the reverse. It started off with a lot of people still saying yes. In these day and times, we still
I said
need
the same thing, but I was laughing to myself. I was like, the people who saw the poll first,
right,
were the people who went to school with the education and is at work looking at this shit. They're like, I wouldn't be here without college. And the other motherfuckers and stuff who didn't, they were looking like, fuck a school. I'm just joking, folks, because you probably got to your own time. Because I think for me, if it wasn't for our business,
right,
I probably wouldn't be on social media that early in the day because I hit the ground running.
Yeah,
but because this is part of my business, so I got to build my brand before I go build this hospital brand.
Right,
build for their brand and shit, and come back and build back to my brand and stuff again. So it's kind of like this is the reason why. Like until my brand outbeats, like I want to say the capital for this.
Yeah.
This is what the dance is and stuff for that. But if you have your business and stuff and you didn't need school, it's a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a blessing.
Yeah.
You know, and I appreciate it and stuff for that. I just look at it stuff as that where you have part of the conversation, like with the college stuff was, well, your niece.
Right.
She graduated from school.
Right.
Right.
Congrats, by the way.
Congrats, Roro. She graduated from school and stuff like that. And I heard people and stuff like, I learned this on TikTok University. I'm like, TikTok, fucking university is an app. Yeah, but you learn everything on TikTok. They teach you more on TikTok than they teach you in school. Pardon? So I was looking like, TikTok just came out. I was like, is there TikToks on like full mathematics and everything? No, but different things, different ways to do math. So I was like, yeah, so you don't need school because you have TikTok?
Right.
Who knew? TikTok is free. I was like, wow. Well, as a post-secondary educated
as
person,
post-secondary educated,
I'm for it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like maybe my standpoint, because it's all standpoints, all perspective, especially when you're answering these questions.
It is.
I feel like my standpoint and stuff is that certain things for me wouldn't pop off the way they would pop off.
Right.
If I didn't go to college.
Right.
If I didn't get the education and stuff.
Right.
Right. So, and I want to say, do you need college to start a podcast or a business like this or other? Well, this podcast is multifaceted, like businesses and stuff like that, and revenue things and all that type of stuff, right?
Right.
But I look at it where some stuff you can go on TikTok University or the internet, and kind of grasp an idea how to do some things. But I don't fully think that, like the people and stuff who said like I said like is college necessary? They're wrong.
Right.
I just look at the stuff as where, well, what do you give energy to?
Yeah.
Or what do you give the time and stuff, whatever, to? Because you can go to college and not make shit of yourself. And some people go to college for like a bachelor's in arts. No disrespect to them, but I don't know what you're going to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not fine-tuned and honed in. So if you're not fine-tuned and honed in, why are you giving your money to this institute or putting yourself in useless debt that you don't need to? Like when I hear people like, oh, I went to school for this. Did you finish? No, but I got this debt. I'm like, they're looking for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're funding their institutions.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's always going to boil down to an individual choice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need it? No. But then also depends on the type of person you are. Are you somebody who can learn from just examples? You can learn from like common life. Are you somebody who can jump into it and figure it out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the technology that we have today, you have I would even say like full-on courses on certain places like YouTube and that sort of thing. But again, what type of person are you? Even as a self-made, successful business person, right? There's gonna be parts of your business that you don't take care of or you don't understand. For let's say accounting, for instance, you get to a certain point where a lot of money is coming in, a lot of money is going out. if you're not an accountant yourself, you're most likely gonna hand that off. Right?
So you're saying eventually in your business you're gonna need.
You're gonna need people.
It doesn't have to be you.
It doesn't necessarily have to be you, but you're gonna want somebody.
I never looked at it like
who's
that.
You're gonna want somebody who's educated in that field. You're not gonna take JoJo off the street who told you he did accounting off of YouTube. You're probably gonna look for somebody who went to an official school and learned to be a CBA. I'm just saying. That's what I would do.
Bring that shit in. You're absolutely right. Because yes, we like, okay, just because I didn't get formal schooled into doing this, I did good. I don't think Jay-Z and all those people who were like high school educations and stuff just said like, all right, you know what?
Not even high school dropouts, but they become so successful.
And they're gonna hire people who have these post-secondary schooling.
Right. They are.
So I never looked at it like that. That's perfect. Did your parents expect you to go to college? That's what I wanted to ask you.
They expected me to do post-secondary education, whether it be college, trade school, or something. They expected me to do something and not just finish at high school.
Interesting.
What it was I chose to do, it was pretty much up to me.
To you.
Yeah.
No, I think my mom, she's a heavy standpoint of like my education.
Right.
Education and stuff. But my mom's like, she's like, yo, you have to go to school. Like it's not a choice.
Right.
It's like you have to go to school and make something out of yourself and stuff. Like she's like, and she said it from an old school kind of from the world she witnessed. She's like, she said to me, she's like, yo, you're black. You're black. A lot of things is already stand against you and stuff like that. You want to do things and stuff that kind of take you, not separate you from the pack, but get you ahead of the pack.
Right.
Because she said if everybody start pointing stuff as like high school, if everybody start pointing stuff as just being adults, high school education separates them from regular adults to that.
Right.
College, even from that.
Right.
Whatever, right? And then statistically shown, like I want to say, like average jobs, high school and college education people, their pay grade is a little different.
Right. I mean, certain places won't even hire you unless you have at least a high school.
Mm-hmm.
At least a high school.
So like, it wasn't no that much harassment and stuff from my side and stuff like that. But I feel like just the same thing you were saying. Like some places that's a requirement.
Yeah.
To get the job. Like those days of I would train this apprentice and then once they get the skill set, send them out in the world and everything like that.
Right.
Not saying that doesn't happen like that no more, but they need something to go by, something, because it's the certification.
Yeah.
They want to say, okay, you're certified enough to know about this amount of things to the degree and how much you can do.
Yeah.
My beef with college and stuff is the student debt thing.
Yeah.
Like I look at it stuff where I understand this is an institute to make money for them, but explain to me, even a D1 school, the football coaches and the basketball coaches and the sports coaches make more than some of the professors. So I'm looking like, whoa, I thought we were preaching the education aspect. If I'm not an athlete and everything like that, you seem like you don't really care too much for me because.
But it's when you phrase it like that, right? And you really think about it, what's worth more to the school? Division I sports, which brings in a lot of money, or the tuition of just everyday kids?
I get source of money, man. So that's why I'm like, when it comes to the student loans thing, I'm like, yo, this shit should be, if you finish school, and like I said, it's the completion aspect. I feel like in my ideal world,
right?
Say you didn't finish school, you got to pay 100% of what you didn't use. So let's say you did 2 years. You did 2 years, your program is a 4-year thing. You said, fuck it, drop out. You got to pay that 2 years and stuff.
Right.
Right? And I feel like if you graduated and did completion of set thing, I feel like that should cut from like at least like by 75%. My world.
Okay.
25% you pay.
Right.
because you were still at the facility and you were using, the educators like education to kind of teach you and everything. Because like I said, like pharmacy works like that. Like it's kind of like if you're gonna speak to somebody in retail pharmacy and they're like, excuse me, sir, can you help me with this? You plug in a USB key. And that key starts clocking your time to say like, okay, how much time did you spend giving your formal education to said person?
Right.
So even if they're like, can you help me pick out such and such? 1 minute, start the timer. And then so it's kind of like you document now like, oh, I spent this amount of time talking to said patient because they're paying you, they're not using your skills for free. It's the same thing with an accountant.
Yeah.
I need you to do these taxes and make sure everything is right.
Yeah, so you build the work accordingly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I look at it, we're like, we need to start doing more better things for the student loan forgiveness aspect.
But I mean, even, okay, let's say if it's not, or we don't leave it solely on the side of the schools.
Okay.
Right? I think corporations could do a better job. I mean, if you're working for a company, they might pay for extra training. If you need extra training, they might go ahead and fit the bill for you to get this extra training because they know it benefits them in the long run. Right? But if I'm hiring somebody fresh out of university, and I'm not talking every company because not every company is going to have the capacity to do this. But if I'm hiring somebody based upon their expertise and knowledge and the fact that they went and they did their 4 years of college or university, right? They got the grade that you would want them to get as somebody looking for somebody successful for your business. That person automatically becomes an asset. Why not say as a sign-in bonus, here, 5,000, I don't know, 10,000, whatever, put that towards you. You're working for us now. Go ahead, use some of this to pay off some of that school that you've accumulated to get to this point. To get to the point where you're now going to make me more money as a company.
All right, hold on. So let me understand this. So you're saying said person, they are already an employee at the job?
No. They're going to get the job.
Okay,
they're going to get the job. Like a signing bonus.
Okay, so you're saying the stuff now like, all right, say lawyers.
Right.
Lawyers now, they use the rookie lawyers, they're just called associates.
Right.
And most of the associates are kind of like fresh grads.
Right.
So you're saying that set firm would take on set associates and be like, hey, you're probably still going to some student debt and everything. We need some rookies and stuff, but eventually we're going to help build your greatness and shit here.
Right.
So take this $500,000 take this $5,000 and put towards your student debt.
Right.
I'd be scared. I don't know for the company. I see where you're going.
Yeah.
I see where you're going. It can work, but I feel like as the company and stuff, that person might be a liability because they're looking like I'm taking a gamble on you like this. Well, because in a capitalistic world, you want to spend less money possible to gain so much. So now you're spending $5,000 and you're paying a salary to set employee and stuff. You're looking like, motherfucker, I need you to do a few things where if I need you in like a Cobra Clutch situation, like, fuck, senior partner, this person can't do it, whatever. You there.
Yeah.
How was your grades in school? I was on honors. You come with me. I need you to come with me in this court case and stuff, whatever, right? You can just pick them out the pit.
Yeah.
And just kind of take them with them and stuff, whatever. Yeah, I feel like for a company, it won't work well. Ideally, like your shit, like my shit, ideally, yes. I see exactly what you're talking about. My hospital, they have this thing where if you already have the job.
Okay.
So you already work.
Right.
Let's say you might work let's say you work in housekeeping.
Okay.
If you work in housekeeping and stuff like that, and you say to yourself, you would like to do something more.
Better yourself.
Yeah, better yourself and everything like that. You can go to like, I want to say there's resources possible.
Right.
But the stipulations.
Yes.
So the stipulations and stuff, whatever, that I remember and everything like that. Like, don't quote me because I've never done it, whatever. I didn't like it. But it's like, you get this education. We'll give you the money and stuff, whatever, for this education.
Right.
And we'll give you the money and stuff. And let's say like your tuition or whatever for that year might be like, say, $5,000. If it's like $5,000, if you work as an employee, I think it is 2 or 3 years after set completion because they want to know completion.
Right.
You have to pay that back. I mean, you don't have to pay that back, but you have to stay at a company for that long.
Right. Right.
So now, if like you got educated and said, "Fuck it, I'm going to go to another place,"
Yeah, you got to pay it back.
right. So that's what I'm looking at.
And that's what I'm saying because, like I said, like I know companies that do it after a fact because they consider it still an investment to their company.
Right.
One of the stipulations might be you can't just go and take anything. It has to be something related to whatever we do within the company.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, how are we going to secure? Like, you have to. If we like, okay, we hire you as new young associate.
Right.
You're not allowed to work anywhere else. If not, we can take you to court.
Yeah.
If like I said, the stipulations and stuff in there and be like, okay, so therefore it works for the company.
Right. Right.
Because other than that, to be like, shit, when I get this education and shit like that, or like you know what I'm saying? Be like, I only have $5,000 left to pay for my education and stuff. Ooh, I work for this firm. Fuck you, bitches. I'm working here for like 3 months and I'm out. Once I pass probation, I'm out.
Yeah.
Then you're at the company and stuff. You look like we just basically gave him a little bit of a salary,
right,
and his money to cover the education.
Right.
So that's what I'm like, yeah.
So then I like that idea. Then you got to be there a certain amount of time.
Yeah, you're locked in.
And then we'll kick in. We'll pay because at that point you might have made them more than what they're willing to give you.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Because I want to say like, I can't remember how to say it. I know I'm gonna butcher the shit out of this thing, but it's kind of like you might bring the company, like say like I think them hiring you will probably get them like all the things you do, your skills and assets that might give you like make you $1 million. They're not gonna pay you $1 million.
Nah.
Right?
Nah.
They're not gonna pay you $1 million. They might pay you like 50,000.
Right.
So they pay you like 50,000 and stuff like that. And be like, all right, if you've been here for a set time, you gonna get, we'll look at like, all right, fine, we'll shave off some of these millions. We'll give you a few $1,000s to your education because you need your education and shit like that. But yeah, your student loan shit is still on you.
Right.
Unless if you work for us, then it'll be kind of our shit.
Yeah.
Because at least we can utilify you and milk you and stuff, whatever. Because I know a woman who used to work at my hospital, and then they put interest on this shit. She left. She didn't escape her shit. I don't need this. They're not hiring me, or they're not trying to say set department she was trying to move up to.
Right.
Wasn't giving her the time of day. But I think it's from the management aspect and stuff like that, right? So she's like, well, fuck this shit, I'm out. I'm like, did you take that? And everything.
You got some money, right?
She's like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Then I seen her, I think like maybe a year or two after I'm like, yo, how was? I'm like, yo, how did that go and stuff, whatever? She's like, yo, they start garnishing her new wages at the other place. I'm like,
again, stipulations. The fine print that you didn't read.
Fine print, Mike.
The fine print you didn't read.
The bloody fine print. We're here. That's the pose for the college. So college is necessary for us on this side. How are you? Are you ready for my shit? Are you ready?
I think as ready as I'll possibly be.
Are you sober enough for this?
I'm sober. I'm here.
So let's talk about this video with the father and the baby moms and the food.
In the mid.
Yo, you start laughing. You already know where this is going. Not sure if it's Joseph. The people want to know, what are you thinking and your thoughts? So, all right, let me set up for the folks that don't know.
Set it up.
So, there's a video online. There's a video online where you have a mother of 4.
Yes.
You have a mother of 4. And one...
The last child. Her
last child's father, she's no longer together with. She called him, going by the video, and she said, you need to bring your son some food. He's hungry.
Yes.
The man has 1 child with her and the 3 other children from previous misters.
Right.
Which she's no longer with. That's why he was with her and stuff for the period of time.
Right.
So she started recording.
She started recording
before he pulled up.
Yeah, before he pulled up.
So when he was pulling up, she's like, I bet you this bastard only just came out with food for 1 kid when he knows I have 3 more kids that need to eat.
Yeah.
And the video now proceeds and stuff where she is yelling at him because he came out the car with 1 meal for a kid.
Right.
She said, I have other kids in here to feed. And he's like, you told me my son was hungry.
Right.
Those are your kids.
That's important information there because, again,
people don't listen to understand, they listen to respond. So they're not listening to understand what was said.
As it starts out, she calls him and says, can you get your son?
Your son. Not plural.
Not plural.
Not sons.
Your sons, right? Something to eat because he's hungry.
Mm.
Okay. So now, think of that from the father's perspective.
I got to feed my baby.
You got to feed your baby, but the way how she even phrases it, like, you could easily assume that the other
kids already ate.
They ate. And you're saying, damn, you couldn't feed my son?
So you're okay, so you're sober enough for this because your temperature, you're
no. Check the pulse. Check the pulse. Check the pulse real quick.
Bruh.
Yeah. You don't know no veins pulsing.
No, not yet.
Okay,
the hope won't come out.
Okay. You call him and tell him his son is hungry. Come feed your son. Right? You don't mention anything about the other three.
Right.
As far as you're concerned, the other three may have already ate. Right? Now, during this call, if they did not eat, would have been the perfect time to mention the other three and saying, by the way, or maybe even start off by saying, none of my kids have ate, right?
Right.
I would appreciate that if you could feed the other three as well as yours.
Appreciate is the word, not expect.
Not expect.
Yeah,
appreciate. If you can feed the other three as well as yours when you come by. Now it's in his mind Now it's in his mind. You let him know, okay, nobody's ate. None of the kids have eaten, right? Now he's got the options. He's also got to think of how it may look or how it may be perceived if he only comes in with one food for his child alone.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
You don't do any of that. Right? You get off the phone with him. Right? As soon as you get off the phone, you get on IG, Instagram, whatever it was that you got on, you start recording.
Yeah.
And you start belittling this man. You don't even know how the outcome's gonna end. And I'm assuming that we assume that this may have occurred before, right? So we don't know. Maybe she's going off of what she's already what she already knows, or maybe she's just putting this man in a particular light because they're no longer together, so and so. So already you know what to expect. So when he shows up and jumps out the car with the small bag and the drink, we're all like, oh yeah, we knew this was we knew this was gonna happen. She set the stage already.
Right.
So now he shows up, and of course, he thinks he's doing the fatherly thing for his child, which he is.
Correct.
He's doing the fatherly thing for his child.
Correct.
Now you're going to shit on him because he didn't bring food for your three other children from previous men who you may or should have probably had called to see if they could feed their kids.
Responsibility.
But no, you're going to rely on the last baby father to feed all four. And then have the nerve to come back online to defend your actions. And I didn't see it, but I heard she threw the food and the drink.
Oh, she did. She chucked it.
She chucked it.
The
so
food.
Nobody ate.
So no one ate. So she took the food from him. He's like, yeah, okay, I'll give it to your son.
Is it posted? It's still not posting? It's not posted?
No. It's slowly started to go down.
Oh, man, the wine and all the beverages that I had at the wedding, I think it's kept me mellow. It's kept me as mellow as can be.
You don't know what I was coming with today, so that's the reason why.
What was
and yeah, you're drinking and so just having a good time.
So I was prepared.
Oh, okay, you were prepared. Okay, so me, I see both sides.
Right.
I understand both sides and stuff for her. I see where she's coming from and stuff for her, but the key word is appreciate and I expect.
Right.
You're supposed to expect, right? Yes, at a point in time and stuff for her, they were once together.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things and stuff that, like, I want to say a good man in a relationship is kind of supposed to do.
Right.
Because how the hell, like, if you're in a relationship with somebody and stuff like that, and you know this person
right.
has or can a birthing mother, if you have this, sorry, what was it? Birthing parent.
Birthing parent.
Fucking disgusting. This is disgusting. You have set mother who already has 3 kids before you meet her and everything like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you're in a relationship with said person. You know this is a person, this is the situation and stuff like that.
And let's not forget, while they were in the relationship, he was feeding the other kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he was. So now he's not in a relationship. He's not obligated to do that. You can expect a lot.
Right.
But that's not his obligation.
Right.
Because if this was to stand in the court, he is not wrong. The court of public people's court.
Yeah.
That's why he might be seen kind of wrong.
Right.
I had guy friends and stuff say he should have bought he should have bought like a pizza, stuff, a $5 holla pizza and stuff and bring in everything like that. I'm like, he has one child with said woman.
Yes.
The same way she called him, say, you're a son, the same way she could pick up the phone and call the other ones. Now, if she couldn't do that because they're, they've passed or they might, I don't know. I don't want to assume they're incarcerated or anything like that. But as a mother, this is my opinion. Like I said, I'm not trying to do anything to get you crucified, but I look at it stuff as that, my opinion, I'm a father.
Right.
If my ex is to call me and say, your son needs to eat.
Right.
I have to make it happen.
Of course.
I have to make it happen.
Of course.
If I don't have it, rob, steal, borrow, whatever. I have to have.
That child is eating. Your child is eating.
So hence, this is the reason why Marv only has 1 kid. You have 3 and you can't handle it. Why have that many? Why add another one to the plate?
Right.
If you couldn't barely manage to keep the other 3 and stuff, whatever, right? So that's what I'm saying. It goes back to the infantile thing and stuff for there. When does the accountability kick in for set woman or set person to do that type of stuff?
Yeah.
And I blame the dude too. I blame the dude is like, not me, man. That's not my thing. But why would you want to build with somebody and stuff for there who has had like that many kids? There's nothing wrong. Man, fuck anything. Right. Some guys will fuck at some things you look like, keep your sperm to yourself.
Yeah.
But you'll do that.
Right.
And now they did this and stuff for them. Now you're in a position and stuff of like, what happens and stuff with said person? If I'm going to initiate further in the relationship, I have to now fit the bill for said person's kids. Right. The father's producing and stuff, like the other father's helping into the bills into the house and everything.
And there's nothing to say that there's anything right. If you love the woman and she has children from a previous relationship and you understand what it's going to be like and you've accepted that role. Again, this is part of the stuff that we talk about. You got to be honest with what you're looking for in a relationship, of course, and how far you're willing to take that, right? So these are conversations that you got to discuss, right? You got to understand that. Sure, you may love this woman, but you got to love also what comes with her.
Yes,
right. You got to also love what comes with her,
right? Because if I'm single and stuff like that, and then I meet somebody, I have a son.
Yes,
I have a son.
Right.
And if the person does not like kids, that's not the person for me.
Okay,
that is not the person for me. So I keep it pushing. I move on. So I'm like, okay, he didn't care to be, he didn't mind being with her and stuff, with the other kids and stuff like that. At that time, yes. But if it, that's his choice and that's his decision.
His decision.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, he made that decision and stuff. Me, that's not my kind of choice.
Yeah.
I look at it and stuff as like, I am 37 years of age. I have 1 child from previous marriage.
Right.
Self-worth means something right here to me.
Right.
I've been fucking or I've been having consensual sex.
Consensual sex.
15.
Yeah.
I have one kid.
Because you bag and tag? You
Now I'm like an ultimate whore bag. I'm like a hoochie daddy now.
You bag and tag?
I bag my juice. Fuck what he said. Let me look at every camera. Uno, dos, tres. Fuck what he said.
I'm just saying that you're not just letting it fly willy-nilly out in the world, that you got to be worried about cases of Wade and Roe.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Because I even said to myself, I'm like, was she in a state with Roe versus Wade that it kicked it? She has a lot.
She has a lot.
Like, I can see somebody, like, I've been having discussions with multiple people and everything like that, whatever, right? And saying like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with being a woman and stuff with kids and everything like that? I said, that's not a problem. Kid.
Yeah.
So I'm like, she has one, I have one. Total, that's 4 mouths for me to feed.
Mm-hmm.
As this is just me, this is why maybe my sexism kicks in or something like that, whatever. So I'm like, if you're my woman, the least I can do is feed you and shelter you. The least I can do.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. And now you come with a child and stuff, whatever, too. The least I can do for them and stuff is that.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't know how many I can take on from your side. Because I look at them like, well, the scale's uneven right here.
Yeah.
Like, most of my dollars is going to your 3 kids and like a little bit's going to my 1. I like to make sure my son looks decent and fly and shit like that, whatever. So if I got to buy like, some J's over here, I got to buy like 300 pairs of J's. That ain't mine. I'll call the phones up myself like, yo, how much you got towards these Jordans and stuff? Because I'm about to buy these kids. Man, don't call my phone. Oh, you want to talk to her? Hold on.
Yeah. Again, know what you're getting into.
Absolutely.
And the responsibility and the expectations. And see, here's the problem, right? So, we're getting deep today. A dude will look at that woman with her 3 kids and be like, she gets busy. She looks good and she gets busy. Yeah. So I'm going to go over there and get busy too.
Well, but especially if there's multiple baby daddies in the photo and stuff, that changes the dynamic and stuff too.
Right.
Because I have guy friends that say, one guy friend was like, he knew a chick from high school and she had, let's say, 2 kids from 2 different baby daddies, right?
Right.
Then he sees her, they go on a date and stuff like that. She's like, in order to get this, you have to be married and all this type of stuff. He's like, did you give that same stipulation to the other 2 motherfuckers? And I dial out and I was like, it's too true. But that's what I'm saying. The self-worth thing comes in.
Yeah.
Because my thing and stuff is like, for me, I didn't want to be a baby daddy.
Right.
I wanted to be a husband. Like, to me, that whole nursery rhyme thing, first come love, then comes marriage, then come baby in the baby carriage.
Right.
That was my thing. My thing and stuff is that I want to have my eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
That's it. When I look at it now, it's me. It's not a standard. It's not etched in stone somewhere and stuff that this is how it's supposed to go. It's me making this choice, me knowing my self-worth and stuff, me trying to make life less complicated for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm making these choices. This is my choice.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. If that person wants to make this choice to have multiple kids or help repopulate the world into more thing, have the dollars or have the capital when you don't need anything and stuff like that. Because I'm pretty sure, hypothetically speaking, if she was Oprah, if she had Oprah's budget, fuck it. She had $1 million income a year.
She ain't caring about the baby. She ain't caring about the baby.
She's not calling nobody. This would be no video existing. Because if that popped off, would I be like, you a greedy ass person because you probably make more than this guy and his family and shit like in total.
Right.
And then you start asking for one kid kids need to be fed. But I'm like,
going back to the statement that you just, because that's a wild statement. Did you put that on any of your previous baby daddy? But okay, but who's wrong in a situation like that? Because let's say now after the first 2 kids, she realizes her self-worth, right? And she realized she may have been looking at it the wrong way. She's been going at it the wrong way. Now she is in a situation where she has 2 kids where she now has to fend for herself, right? Mm-hmm. She doesn't want a 3rd kid like that. So is she wrong to say, hey, to get up into this, you now have to do this, that, and that? No. And again, I'm going back to what I was saying before. Dudes may look at her and say, okay, she's got 2 kids already, so that means she's easy. I could be the dude that goes in there and willy-nilly not looking at the consequences.
You better wear something on your willy.
You better wear something on your willy because we've been saying this from last week. Yeah. There's consequences. This is Russian roulette you're playing.
Right.
This is Russian roulette that you're paying. So him going in now, let's put all these factors now into what we just seen.
Yeah.
Right? What we just witnessed in IG land with the last week or so. Right? The reason why he may have a child with her and it didn't go anywhere because he wasn't expecting it to go anywhere in the first place.
Right. But he has to hold the
responsibility. So now he has to put up with this this part of the situation.
Don't pay for the contraceptive, pay for the child.
Now he has to put up with this situation. And the expectation that she's putting on him.
Yeah, don't put no expectation on me.
Don't put no expectations on me either.
Yeah, because I know like I said, I know my worth and I know certain type of things and stuff like that. And I don't knock those women or those people and stuff in a situation like, yo, I did this wrong the other 2 times. Yeah. Let me do this shit right. But okay, if you have 2. Right. And it seemed like, okay, set person or previous people and stuff tapped out on you. Why when you get with the number 3 and stuff, whatever, you like you didn't learn from the situation. You don't have to fucking I'm like yes, you can raw dog whatever, but birth control, take preventative measures and stuff like that. Or when you're establishing this new self-worth, like this new awakening and stuff, whatever, you're like, yo, like say some woman would be like, oh, I always just sleep, or a person be like, I sleep with the person on the first night and stuff like that. I don't care. It's my body, my choice, and all that type of stuff. Now they're saying, no, I gotta want to wait 90 days before I sleep with somebody. You're identifying your self-worth. Cool. No problem. There's no beef with that. The beef is and stuff was like, okay, this person has made it past this part to seem like they're not like the previous people. Where do you now continue to say, this is what you want out of said person? I want said person to make me into a husband. Right. So I'm going to do these things and I want him to do these things so I can see like if he's worthy enough for that title of husband. Right. You still fucking without contraception? And then like you're in it. Like this is what I'm saying. I don't, if I'm in a situation and stuff where, if I was ever in a situation and stuff, like, I would never be in a situation.
Listen, before child number 4 came along and the father of child number 4 came along, how were the other 3 eating?
Air pie and crystal punch. No, I'm just fucking with you. They were eating.
They were eating. You found a way to feed the first 3.
Yeah, they were eating. But in this is where like I feel like my pride. Like if I was a woman and stuff, if I was this woman, I'd have been like, yo, I need to feed your son. Can you buy a whole chicken and bring it for me? Right. Because I'm gonna clean and cut up this chicken and cook this chicken. Yeah. For your son. Ever. That's the intention. Yeah. But I gotta feed my other 3 babies. Yeah. I feel like my pride maybe is set up a little bit different from, because if I can afford to keep or maintain my son, and I came to you once a month, smooth, yo, shoot me $200 so I can give to this woman and stuff like that for my son. I shouldn't be having a son. Nah. And then much as be like, yo, there's this new chick, and then you're the one who always give me the money. You be like, yo, you better get a condom. You better get a fucking condom. Because I'm tired of paying for one kid already for you. You know what I'm saying? Right. Not saying kids are a burden and stuff with it, but you can't let someone else's responsibilities become your responsibility. No. And that's where I feel like if we're going to pick the 2, I would say she's the wrong because she's trying to make her other responsibilities become his responsibilities and stuff. Whatever. Yes. And that's what I don't agree with. Yes. Like I said, on the other side of something like, yo, this guy chose to be with her and stuff before. But then again, when he was in the photo like that, right? Sure, he's to blame. Because it's kind of like if he's in the photo and stuff, whatever, then he comes home with one thing, I just got to feed my kids. These other kids got to find something and stuff like that and everything. Yes, he is the asshole. Right. But they're not together. And that's my final thought, Jerry Springer.
You think he was just feeding those kids to get some?
Of course.
I told you.
Man. Look, I told you.
Listen.
I told you already. I went on a date with a woman.
Mm-hmm.
She allegedly says she had a child.
Mm-hmm.
Could I get her child a meal? Because we're out for dinner and she didn't cook her child a meal.
Right.
Me, just trying to think about vagina,
Yes.
said, sure, what's another $22 meal? Add that to the bill. Then didn't get any vagina, but then when I found out she didn't have no damn kid, I did it all for the vagina.
Pretty
So
much.
if he was doing it for the vagina, this is what some people do.
This is what some people do. This is what. Okay. All right.
All right. We're done?
We're done.
All right.
We're done.
All right. I want to ask you something though. Is everybody in your city famous now? Like, do you feel that I want your honest opinion that you feel like some people and stuff? Like, I feel like the word public figure is getting thrown out too much on social media.
Oh.
Everybody's a fucking public figure, and then people expect you to know who they are. That's what I'm saying. Does everybody in your city feel like they're damn near? A lot of people feel like they're famous.
There's a lot of people who feel like they are famous.
Why?
Makes them feel good. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you, man.
I ran into somebody and stuff, right?
Right.
Okay, no, I give you a situation before I ran into a person recently. I saw an attractive woman. Let's say pre-pandemic.
Okay.
Pre-pandemic, I saw an attractive woman and stuff like that. I was out with some friends or something like that, and then I seen said woman. And she had a different kind of outfit on, but I want to say her look and her outfit, it kind of went together, right? So I was kind of appreciating, like, you know, how she put herself together.
Yeah.
So say I'm just looking at her stuff like, you know, with the eye. Then I said to myself, I'm like, should I go talk to her? Should I not? I was debating this stuff because I'm like, man, I just chill and stuff. But I guess maybe her people's gonna be like, you know, that guy, he's staring at you or something like that, right? So eventually she came kind of closer and stuff like that. And she's like, you were staring and stuff like that. So I'm like, I feel like I know you from somewhere.
Right.
Because I'm like, your look is kind of like individual.
Right. You stand out.
She stand out.
Yeah.
She stand out. Like, I want to say it's pretty in the face
Right.
and body, but like I want to say the clothes and like she had like the curly sideshow bob kind of hair thing going on, the natural hair thing, and the outfit was kind of like some couture type of shit going on. So I'm looking like, and she's like, you probably see me on IG or something like that, whatever, right? So I'm looking like, possible? But I feel like I seen you somewhere and stuff like that. And she's like, well, I am a public figure. I'm like, so I said, are you a politician? Because I don't recall seeing you on like the news or anything.
Right.
She's like,
right.
I don't have to be a politician to be a public figure. I'm like, what makes you a public figure then?
Yeah.
My followers.
Well, I was, and it's funny that you mentioned that.
When you can buy followers?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because I was gonna say, I think, you know, when you ask like what makes people feel like they're a public figure, I was gonna say I think the following has gotten to a lot of people's heads. The following itself have gotten to a lot of people's heads. And again, how did you get that following?
That's what I'm saying. There was a lot of spam DMs going on. I'm pretty sure you probably stumbled upon one of those things like, hey, you want your followers or to the blah, 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 you want to boost your followers and everything, pay this amount of money. So I pay for, let's say I pay for like 100,000 followers.
Right.
Right? I pay for 100,000 followers. And now when I look at it now, I didn't earn them. So say when I stop paying or system crashes and et cetera and stuff and everything, do I get those followers back? Because some people might come to you just because of your numbers and stuff are up and everything. But I don't really care for numbers.
Right.
If maybe in the metaverse, you might be absolutely fucking famous.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in real life, what did you do? Like, what did you do? I didn't even see celebrities as a public figure on there as whatever. I think like maybe Instagram might have a default thing and stuff, whatever.
Right.
Or they just might just do a blue check certified, be like, yo, you're supposed to know who the fuck this person is. This person's on TV, here, to and fro. You're just on Instagram. You're just on one social media platform. Fuck am I supposed to know who you are? How are you famous?
I like the question you ask is, are you a politician? Because when we first heard the term public figure, it was given to people like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like people who were in the public realm that you've seen, that you know of because they're in the public realm.
Like, okay, somebody I consider a public figure, and I don't even fuck with the person. Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, that's a public figure.
I don't believe he's a politician.
Right.
He's just a conservative dude who has like, views and statements and stuff like that. That kind of thing. Like, I don't really care to know about his world like that too much. I just know what I know, and I know that he's been here to fro all the above, having these speeches and conversations and everything with
the fact that you don't care to know anything about him, but you know of him makes him a public figure.
High five. High fucking five.
Yeah. It's just when I
do you know who I am? I am Marvelous from Podical Sons. You don't know who the fuck I am?
When I see that statement under people, it's like, so basically you do nothing then, is how I look at it. Basically you do nothing. But you want to give yourself a title. Yeah.
And we know in the world we live in, people love to give each other their own titles.
Mm-hmm.
I identify as something. Someone else identifies as another thing. And, it's just the titles out here, I say I'm the king of perverts. That's what I say I'm the king of perverts.
Yeah.
Now, there might be a porn director out here in the cut that might want to contest. He might be like, I used to be an actor. He gargled like turds of shit in his mouth, whatever. Like, he's like, you remember the thing? Like, the guy's like, oh, you ain't no freak. I'm a freak. He's like, yo, I put hot sauce in my girl's butt, dip the chicken wing in there, pull it out, eat it, whatever. That his perversion is way higher than mine.
Right.
So if he was a contestant, like, you're the king of perverts, I'm the king of perverts, cool.
You're gonna let him have
cool.
it. You're gonna let him have the title.
Cool. But it's insane when people are like, I am a queen. What the fuck have you done to be queen? I am a king. What the fuck have you done to be a king?
Yeah.
I haven't seen you on TV, king. Haven't seen you in public as a figure. King? Tell me, why are you a king? Oh, you just gave yourself that title.
You just gave yourself that title.
Interesting. Yes, I am the Black Goku.
Yo, shout out to Delicious Products. They put up the posted a meme. The meme was, if you drink rum before 10 a.m. in the morning, that makes you a pirate and not an alcoholic. So I jumped in and I said, I can't argue with that.
No. I mean, the day of the week. It depends on the day of the week.
Depending on the day of the week.
If I got some shit to do and stuff like that, I'm not gonna dabble into my fun shit. I like to take care of business first.
Yeah.
But if I don't got shit to do, well,
come on.
Oh my gosh.
It's gotta be happy hour someplace in the world.
My house. My house. That's where it is. I got day off shades.
Mm-hmm.
Get these. Somebody gave me these shades. They're like, oh, the UV protection and stuff. I walk around in my robe, house coat. I'm out there doing the most, and that's just me. So, and my house will be happy hour when I don't have shit to do. And when I have things to do, I'm gonna take care of that. I don't know, this public figure shit. Yeah, I don't know.
That's a wild one. That's a wild one.
I got one more for you to ask you. So, tell me if this is classy or ashy. There's a problem. She received backlash and stuff. This is graduation time.
Yeah.
Right? Well, we're wrapping up graduation time.
Right.
We're now in July. But proud mom. Her kid graduated from high school. She kind of ran from the back. And she kind of ran up to the stage making noise and all stuff. Like, school security had to be like, hey.
Yeah.
You got to relax.
Yeah.
Whatever, right? Your celebrations are too wild.
Right.
Was that classy? Was that trashy? To you? She could have stayed in her seat, clap it up.
She could have.
She's a proud mom though.
Yeah. And I was also proud mom moment. Proud mom moment.
Proud mom moment and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So is it like classy or is it trashy? Because I'm pretty sure there's other proud moms and stuff and proud dads
Yeah. Yeah.
out there, but they didn't do it like that. Go ahead.
You know what? In certain situations, I would maybe label it trashy and not classy.
Mm-hmm.
But then I don't know what that mom and what that kid had to go through to get to where that person is graduated.
Right.
Right?
Right.
It could be some real trials and tribulations, and just at that moment, thinking of the hardships and what you've overcome, that might have just, the emotions may have just been too high that she probably just couldn't contain herself.
Okay. I get that.
Yeah. So then, do I want to call her trashy at that point? I don't know. I don't know if I feel I can still call her trashy at that point. Because what if I'm in a situation and I'm just overwhelmed with emotions? Like, my daughter let's say my daughter gets married, right? And I know, let's say my daughter may have had like a bout with men who didn't treat her properly. Now she finally finally found a dude that treats her proper.
Right.
I like dude is well behaved, this, that, and the third. I cry at my daughter's wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Am I a punk for crying? People gonna call. Some people will look at that and say, "Hey, why are you crying for? Man up." No, my emotions. I'm overcome with emotions.
Toxic masculinity. I think because you're a man. Because if you're the mother,
Right,
or your wife is crying and stuff, whatever, it's A-okay.
it's A-okay.
I think the thing and stuff is where, like, this is the classy, trashy aspect and stuff, is that we have set standards for etiquette, public etiquette,
Yes,
right?
right.
So where she got more scrutiny and stuff, whatever, is because she's black. She's a black woman now and everything like that, right? So we know, one of the most disrespectful people, disrespected creatures and stuff is a black woman.
Right.
You're right. We don't know her adversity with said child to get to this point and stuff and everything. Hell, he could be the first person to graduate from high school.
He could be.
And her family.
Yeah.
Right? This is where it comes in and stuff where, like, the ghetto thing. It's kind of like, you know better, you do better.
Right.
And then, what was it? I think hood is you don't give a fuck. And ghetto is you make the best of what you got.
Right.
Right? Did she give a fuck about them?
Nah, she didn't give a fuck.
So that's some hood shit.
It's hood shit.
Or the best that she got is like, I'm glad. Yes, he made it. And be like, yo, all right. That's my baby. From the seat.
From the seat.
You could have stood up and clapped loud from the seat.
Right.
She ran right up to the stage. And the teachers and principals and stuff are there, like, shaking their hand. Like, that's your mom. Kids probably like, fuck, this is embarrassing. This is not classy. Oh, tragedy.
We spoke about this before we got here.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not putting into parameters and stuff. I'm not trying to put parameters and stuff on people, but I just look at it stuff as that where there's perspective. And there's certain levels of etiquette we expect.
Yeah.
Because it's like, much as you're in public. Nobody can tell you what the fuck to do in your house.
Right.
If you want to walk around here in your Speedos and everything like that, you let your nuts hang, you pay the bills in this bitch.
That's me.
You pay the bills in this bitch.
Right.
Do you walk out like that and stuff into the grocery store when they tell you like shirt and shoes are required? Different story. And that's what I'm saying. You have to act accordingly to where you are. It's not where you're from, it's where you at.
Yeah.
So she could have been from wherever and stuff like that, but you have to act accordingly to set place. Go ahead.
What if you're in your house, in your Speedos, and you scratch a ticket, and you won $1 million? You run out there to the grocery store?
But
in your Speedos?
Not for a meal.
Not for a meal?
Not for a meal.
What would it take for you to just run out that house half naked?
Oh, that 70 million lotto thing the other day?
Yeah.
I think I just probably put some Timbs on.
You put some Timbs on?
I just put some Timbs on, some boxers and everything.
Right.
But you see, even with me...
Because that's hood shit. You ain't giving a fuck.
Right, but you see, that's what I'm saying. With me, I wouldn't do that for the first thing.
Right.
Because, hear me out. I look at stuff like, oh my gosh, I'm excited. I think this is where I want to say, people like the word programming. When my programming and stuff and my brain and stuff is different because
Yeah.
my thing and stuff is that I've come from an environment where you make it, they might take it.
Right.
So my thing and stuff is that low key.
You stay low key.
Right.
You stay low key.
Low
right.
key and stuff for that. So if I'm already going outside and stuff and just my damn underwear and my Timbs, motherfuckers, I'm getting the attention. It's drawing the attention.
Yeah.
That's not low key.
No.
That's not low key.
Either one or two things. Something really positive happened or you lost your damn mind.
But you're still getting the attention.
You're still going to get the
So
attention.
that's I'm like, no, I'm going to get dressed like every damn citizen. I'm going to go to this place and go get this check and make sure once I get this check
Right.
and everything, because I don't want to be like reading the damn lotto ticket and scanning it on my scanner on my phone or the store and be like, yeah, did I get down there? They'd be like, nah, that shit had an error. There's a fritz in the thing. Look, we're scanning it here. We're supposed to give you the
when
check.
you were writing with your pen, did you so happen to make an extra mark on the ticket itself?
All that.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't.
But I mean, we've also seen situations where a person, through their excitement or their elatement, have acted out of character, then caught themselves and say, "Oh, please forgive me," or "Excuse me for I'm just overwhelmed," or "I'm just excited."
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It went from, let's say, if we're talking about like a hypothetical like that, the excitement took over and stuff. Like, let's say, the winner of this award is not your average Joseph. You look like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting to win. You're like,
Right.
So you're like, you were reserved because you didn't expect to win.
Right.
Now you're losing your shit. Like, I won.
Yeah.
I won.
I'm dapping everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And then when you get up there and stuff, whatever,
Right.
this is when you start to hone it back.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying.
And excuse me for my terrible behavior.
Yeah, but like, yeah,
I'd like to thank everybody.
Yeah, I didn't expect to win. When they say
Right.
I didn't expect to win, you're
Yeah.
looking like, okay.
Yeah.
So in a normal time, you would act like this, but now you realize you're in a public place.
Right,
You know,
right.
You're dealing with this shit kind of proper and stuff, whatever. Like, you know, it's
Right.
not like you're at another war situation. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. You know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You have to know how to conduct yourself.
Time
And
is
there's-
waste.
There's
Time
classy and then there's trashy.
Right. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, we need to establish that. And I feel like you, from what I know of you, you're a classy man.
Right.
You're a classy guy. And then when it comes down to it and stuff, whatever, like, yeah, you'll have your excitement and stuff. Like, yeah, you act a fool here.
Yeah.
Let's say you won the award and shit like that, and you were so heavily reserved, and then I come in this bitch to come see you, and it's like, what's up? You walking around with your award.
We got the goggles on.
Like, yeah.
Champagne for everybody.
No one can tell you what the fuck to do in your house. It's just like if somebody win the Super Bowl and stuff, they walk around the house with the Lombardi trophy and shit like that, the goggles, acting up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's a time and place.
I get it. Yeah.
Etiquette.
Etiquette.
Yes. Shit, we've been here for a minute. Let's get the question of the week.
All right.
You know?
You can tell the things that we're passionate about.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
You can
See?
definitely tell the things that
See?
we're passionate about.
See, podcast is therapy. It helps
It
sober
is.
you up.
It is. Uh-huh.
Helps alleviate some of these stressful thoughts.
There you go.
And then if anybody says, how come you're so happy? Listen to the podcast.
Listen to the podcast.
Done. Question of the week.
Question of the week.
What was your first drug?
We talking prescription, over the counter, under the counter, or
Recreation.
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 Does alcohol count?
Alcohol does count.
Then I would say alcohol as my first.
I think people write off alcohol because there's no, like I want to say, there's no legal limit to like how much you can buy.
Right.
There's public intoxication and stuff like that. Right.
Right,
But I
right.
feel like people who's intoxicated in their house and stuff like that, for all we know, it's not a problem until like it.
Yeah.
I guess somebody witnesses it and then, you know, they might pass out from alcohol poisoning or they might die. Like that's when it's the issue. But there's no regulation and stuff like, all right, weed is legal here. You know that you can't buy, I didn't know, but you have a cap in government legal places how much you can buy. And
I didn't know that.
You can't, so if you walk in and say you want like 5 ounces of weed, you can't get 5 ounces of weed. You're like, I have the money. They're like, no. Set place will give a cap on set person buying the quantity and stuff like that.
Right.
And even with I think with the edibles and stuff like that too. So legal government edibles, I think like 10 milligrams max.
Right.
And when they have like gummies or something like that, they kind of divvy up how much portions and stuff in there. Now you can probably buy like 5 packs, but you can't buy 6 packs.
But you can't buy 6.
Right.
Okay.
Because they'll assume that some person is just going to do all of that at once.
Right.
And this is the regulations on it, whatever. When it comes to alcohol, none of that happen. You can buy a whole thing. They'll look at you at the cash register. You having a party? That's it.
That's it. That's it.
That's it.
I think the other thing too is when people hear the word drug, outside of anything prescription, they automatically think of illegal substances. And alcohol not being an illegal substance, you wouldn't classify it as that.
Right.
Right. But you're right. No, it's still recreational, still altering your situation.
Right.
Yeah.
How old were you the first time you tried weed?
17.
17. Yeah.
17. 17 was the first time.
17 is mine too.
I want to say I tried weed. And it was ill how it happened because...
Tell me how your experience happened. I'll tell you my experience.
Okay, so my experience happened like this. I was the neighborhood barber. I started off cutting here, I want to say from maybe like the age of 14, just before I got into high school. I picked up the trade. Self-taught, so forth, started cutting my friends. So
you didn't go to college for that?
I didn't go to college.
You were old enough for college.
I didn't end up in trade school either.
Right.
But so I would cut everybody on the block, right? One day, got a group of kids from the block came through, and they were all going to a party. So I think like maybe 5 to 6 heads I cut. Back then, I was cutting here in my basement. So came through and back then it was $10 a cut. You know what I mean? It was like
those were the days.
Those were the days. You weren't trying to kill nobody. You just need, and $10 could get you stuff, right? And you cut enough heads, you was making a little bit of money.
And the gas prices were so cheap.
Yeah. Oh my God.
To be nostalgic, those were the days. Continue.
Those were the days.
I don't want to deviate you.
So a few of them paid me in cash, and some of them was like, yo, I ain't got no money, but you take this weed. I was like, okay, because either one or two things can still happen. If I ain't gonna smoke it, I could probably sell it and get some money for it.
Right.
Or I could possibly smoke it. Curiosity got the best of me.
Smack it.
And I smoked it.
Smack it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How was your role? You remember that first role? My first role was so... I was embarrassed. I like looking back now. I'm looking what was I doing?
You ever had? I'm sure this has happened to you. On one of the first rolls, where you thought you did good, you lit that bad boy. The first suck you sucked, half the weed went down your throat.
You did like this. all of that. All of that. Yeah. Exactly happened to my punk ass. First time I tried weed, I was 17. And
okay,
again,
17 too. All right.
I think, again, this is the conversation and stuff that I guess people always laugh at me about. That's why you called me a whore in the earlier part.
Yeah.
I wasn't a young hoochie daddy in training, just that it was a girl. Women have power. Women have power.
Power with the PUSSY.
Yeah, women have power. It was like 17 and stuff at the time, whatever. I think it's like the beginning of set new school year. And I was talking to this one girl at the time. And she was an herbalist. She was an herbalist. She was, if I was 17, she was out of school.
Okay.
So she wasn't in high school. She was out of school. I was talking to her and everything like that. It was nothing. And I went to go holler at her because like she would work like when I was in school. I went to go holler at her, and every day I went there, or anytime I went there, there was always like weed rolled up or something like that. And
how old was she?
19.
19.
Cost of living back then was kind of cheaper. And like, she's doing her 1 to 2, I think.
Plus, she might have had a hustler parent.
No.
No?
Nah.
Okay.
No. Part of the reason why she probably has so much weed and stuff, I recall, is because she was a good looking girl.
Right.
And a lot of other older dudes and stuff would talk to her and stuff, whatever. So I knew, like, I looked at her stuff, it was like, Sam Smith. I'm the only one. But as a 17-year-old, dating like a quote unquote an adult,
right,
or talking to an adult,
right.
Of course you're gonna roll with
Who's
it.
a bad girl?
Be like, oh, y'all still dating high school chicks? Pfft. I'm on to grown women, man. Fuck out of here with that shit. Fuck out of here. Every time we'll go to this girl's house and stuff, because she's been living by herself since she was 18.
Right.
Always had weed on deck. And then anytime if we were to get into some things and stuff like that, she's like, you came over here. Sure, you came over here to, you trying to fuck? And that's what you're trying to fuck? I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, I came with the condom.
Yes,
and
please.
Stuff. Yeah, I did, I'm a schoolboy, right? And she's like, all right, let me roll up something. I'm like, you always got to roll up something? She's like, yo, sex is better when you're high.
Yeah.
I was like, eh. And she took it. Like, she took it like she was smoking and she's like this. She's like, come close. I'm like, mm-mm. She's like, I'm going to blow this in your face. And I just want you to breathe in deep.
Right.
I was like, she's like, see, it don't work too well and stuff when you're catching a second hand from somebody else. She said, here.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like,
the first thing you thought of, this shit stink.
No, first thing, I couldn't breathe.
Your thoughts of the first time smoking weed.
Because I'm so used to, like, other people around me have been smoking weed since.
Right.
And I know cigarette smokers and stuff. At a point in time, my mom was a cigarette smoker and stuff. My mom smoked trees and everything like that. So I was like, yeah, this ain't for me and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So she's like, here. And I was like, She's like, what if I let you smoke? She's like, what if you blow this and I blow you? Pass the joint.
Power of the PUSSY.
Pass the joint. Something like this. She's like, oh yeah, you high. We gonna have some fun now. Cause I was coughing like,
yeah.
Cough up a lung on some Marcy, son. Yo. I was done. Next thing you know, what I was like, fuck, I was dead. Like we did the deed and stuff. I was there, like, that ain't that bad. And then when I came down off of it, whatever and everything, I think my main concern and stuff was to go back home.
Right.
I didn't want to reek of the weed and everything like that. So my dumb ass stuff at the time, I thought, which was smart, was that, like I said, it was the beginning of school, so it was still kind of warm, like from summer-ish time.
Yeah.
I will go home in my wife beater, and I just like wave out my shirt. Hopefully, like the fresh air kind of just kill out the
like a helicopter.
Yeah, like Petey Pablo and shit. Just to make sure, like, I got no weed smell in it. Then when I got close enough to the house, I'm like, smells like nature.
Right.
And I was good to go.
Yeah.
And I was like, this ain't that bad, but I seen people and stuff constantly, and this is where I want to say, it's for me. Again, you have to know your self-worth and all that type of stuff, right? When I see people like dumping it blows my mind to know for a fact that people spend over $100 a month on weed.
Yeah.
That's a bill.
Yeah.
That's a bill.
Yeah.
That's not recreation. That's a bill.
Yeah, no.
If you spend if you drink alcohol, and let's say within a month, you spend at least like maybe $200 worth of alcohol and stuff like that. That's a bill.
Bro, I used to have a friend that would budget
for weed.
Yeah,
I seen people and stuff, but how high is his budget?
No, but what I'm saying, like when I say budget for weed, easily over 100.
Yeah, that's a fuck nose for me.
Easily over 100.
Yikes. Okay, so what drug do you want to try though?
Ayahuasca. And shrooms. I have never done shrooms in my life.
Never done shrooms?
I've never done shrooms. I know a lot of shroom users. I've never done shrooms in my life though.
Did you ever contact those shroom users?
I think once I think I even came as close as even gotten a sample. Like and I just never did it. Yeah, it just never did it.
You scared?
I think so.
You scared? Stop acting like
me and my bitch ass.
You scared?
Me and my punk ass.
Yo. For me, it's DMT. DMT. I'm looking forward to that. Whatever. Like it's going to go down.
Yeah.
It's going to go down. Like treat it's like a Joe Rogan podcast.
Now, can it be legally attained where we are right now?
I think the word illegal should not be used in this statement because I don't want nothing to be incriminating against me. Before they like that was you who said yes. I don't know.
No. We're not incriminating ourselves. So we're saying, can it be illegally, or is it legally attained in this country?
It could be illegally attained.
Illegally attained.
the most powerful marketer was a black market,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
It could be legally obtained
Yeah.
and stuff, whatever. Depending on different places and different regulations and stuff, because I want to say constantly drugs and stuff, new drugs are coming up to the market and everything like that, and new things and stuff, right?
Right.
I think most of the governments have set things to call like something like controlled substance,
Right.
or like a illegal substance. They have like a set umbrella thing that this is a illegal substance, drug substance and stuff like that.
Right.
So let's say they make a spray. I always seen this in this one anime and stuff, whatever, right? They had this new drug in there where you just spray it over the pupil of your eye, and this is how you get high,
Okay.
right? They already have drug rules and regulations to kind of dictate that before that drug is even real life.
Yeah. And then they put it in
So-
certain classes, right?
Right.
They-
And classifications and stuff for that. So I think that most of these things are already illegal as is.
Okay.
The body naturally produces DMT, but
Yes.
it gets it at the end before your body's about to fully shut down and die.
Right. Okay.
Right? And that's when the brain releases the DMT and stuff. I just want it to release a little earlier. I don't want to die.
No, you don't want to die.
I just want to go, to heaven, see God, be like, yo, what up? Give one dap, and I'm going to walk right back down the stairway from heaven and come back.
Yeah.
Just to see what the experiences seem like and stuff. Ayahuasca, I'm there too. It's just that ayahuasca, when somebody told me you shit on yourself, the vomit, I can make
the vomit
peace
I
with.
knew. The vomit I knew about.
The vomit I knew. The vomit I made peace with and stuff. And I'm like,
Right.
I'm not going to go there eating like some taquitos or burritos, something like in chunks.
Right.
So if I know like this is going to come out after and everything like that. The shitting on myself.
So does ayahuasca have a form or any DMT in it?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
May or may
'Cause
not.
I always thought that I can't remember the exact full chemical name for DMT.
Mhm.
I always thought that was one of the ingredients or one of the key ingredients in ayahuasca.
No, because I want to say some of those things and stuff are like kind of considered like psychedelics, right?
Right.
And some of the psychedelics and stuff, not all psychedelics are created equally. Like you have weed and you have marijuana. I mean, you have marijuana and you have mushrooms,
Right.
right? And
Right.
they're still considered psychedelics. It goes back to what you're saying, the classifications for the drugs.
Right.
So there's levels and classifications and stuff to this thing. I don't know what the whole content is of the ayahuasca, because if that be the case, like say if it was like a straight derivative, like it is a derivative from a plant.
Yes.
But if I knew exact plant, I'd probably grow this shit and just like, you know what? When I'm ready, I'll go on my own damn trip in the bathroom.
In the
so that I'm
bathroom.
close enough to,
Yeah.
I probably put plastic everywhere just
Everywhere,
in case
just
I
in
miss the
case.
vomit and the shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I hope I would just do all that type of stuff.
Because I always wondered that, because anytime I hear of it being used or anyone using it, they're always traveling to like a place like Peru,
Oh, yeah. Peru.
and they're never in the cities of Peru. They're always going to some far
Backwood.
out backwood jungle.
Well, because so it's kind of like, do you know any Rastafarians that don't smoke weed?
A few.
You know a few?
A few.
A few Rastafarians?
Yeah.
I don't know a few. I don't know
Right.
any Rastafarians that don't smoke weed. So, but I want to say the majority of.
Right.
So I feel like certain things kind of come with the climate. This was like a shaman practice.
Right.
You might find a few shamans in the city,
Mm.
but it's really like kind of unlikely, because I want to say more of the shamans are kind of like the ones kind of in tune with nature, and they kind of go live off the lay of the land.
Yeah.
Right? I want to say certain places and stuff, the lay of the land might be occupied. Let's say if, for all we know and stuff, way back when, before they put this place up, shit could have grew here. But
Yeah.
they cut it down, bulldozed, did everything, and built right on top of it.
Right.
And these things don't grow anymore. Like, I feel like every time I look at the movie Saw, side note, every time I look at the movie Saw,
Yeah.
the first one, he put the key for the shackle
Mhm.
on said person. But because they woke up in a bathtub and they start shimmering off, like in the beginning of the movie you watch, if you haven't watched Saw, I ruined it for you, but watching the beginning of the movie,
Yeah.
he moved and the key went down the drain.
Got it.
So that's why you have to hacksaw his shit off and everything.
Right.
A lot of times, within the problem, the solution is there.
Yeah.
Some of the issues we have with our world and stuff and everything like that, obesity. You have the solution and stuff for that to kind of combat obesity. Eating healthy, exercise, and all that type of stuff. Do people use it?
Right.
That's part of the problem.
Right.
So I look at it where these shamans, back to the shaman thing and stuff, these shamans, they're interacting in just this type of world.
Right. Yeah.
We get word of this world, and then that's why we're going to this world.
Right.
Like I said, if the things was probably growing somewhere, you have like a city shaman, whatever, like it's kind of going back to what you were saying earlier about like the accountant and everything like that. Do you trust a city shaman or do you trust like, somebody named, and I'm not being racist, but like somebody like, Swimming Bird.
Right.
And somebody like, from a native land is the name like Swimming Bird or Flying Monkey and everything like that.
Right.
Do you trust from them or, hi, my name is Chris?
Nah, Chris, you sound too urban.
And let the church say amen. Let's get to the, all right. Let's get to the, wait, hold on. Let me ask you one more drug question.
LSD used to be legal.
Yeah, because they used to do science experiments.
Right, yeah.
But then when they realized some things that people would do with it, they kind of cut it. And this is where they put it back into like the drug classification stuff.
Right.
They'd be like, okay, which level is this? Too wild for the public to have access to.
Yeah.
And they make it illegal. What drug would you wouldn't try?
Cocaine.
That's the most on your top of list?
Yeah.
I feel crack.
You feel crack?
I feel crack. Like I won't do cocaine because I don't feel like nothing should be fucking with my nose.
Right.
Because I heard people like snort cocaine until they start bleeding and everything like that. That don't sound fun.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm better than crack.
You feel like you're better than crack?
I am way above and beyond crack.
Yeah.
I understand it used to be a social drug back in the day, but I'm like, social circles never had Marvin there.
Didn't have me in there either.
All right, man. Let's get to Ask the Sons. Are you ready?
Ready.
First Ask the Sons comes from Catgirl184. What's the most soul-crushing thing that you told someone or someone told you?
Most soul-crushing thing.
I told somebody something soul-crushing. My mom. I think it was the most soul-crushing thing I told my mom that my father's on palliative care. They're not together.
Right.
And when I told her that he was on palliative care, it kind of crushed me.
Yeah.
And I know it crushed her.
Right.
But I was like, yeah. I was like, damn, that's not easy news to give anybody.
No.
It's not easy news to give anybody. So I'm like, salute to like even like the doctors and the healthcare professionals and everything out there for me, because I'm in that world of healthcare.
Yeah.
It's soul crushing to let somebody know like, yo, you're not gonna make it. Or you're telling somebody's family that this person's not gonna make it, or they didn't make it.
Yeah. I think the most soul-crushing thing that I ever had told somebody was the fact that they had BO.
Yeah? Tell me why. Maybe because I'm a natural asshole and I have no qualms telling somebody that they stink.
Because I probably wasn't the only other person that had detected this, right? But nobody was willing to tell this person. And including me. And how I ended up telling this person was because I wouldn't necessarily say it was an argument, but it was some sort of disagreement. And part of this disagreement, I was just letting the person know what was right for what and what was not right. And I think prior to that, I might have never said anything to spare that person, because I felt like I was sparing that person's feelings.
Gotcha. Yeah. You see, okay, so if you check for me, you check. You can check me if you check for me.
Right.
I've been a firm believer in for that, whatever, have Associated Sons to prove that and all the above. I just look at the stuff as that if I care, I'm going to notify you. Yeah. Because I want the best for you.
Oh, and sorry. Don't mean to cut you, but I think also part of that, I didn't do it one away, and I regretted that. I regretted that.
That's what I was gonna get to. That's what I was gonna allude to. Because like, if I care for you and everything, like say we're out in public and everything like that, I mean like, yo, this boy Smooth, you know, you out here, da-da-da, and I see you got a booger hanging out from your nose. If I see a booger hanging from your nose, I'd be like, yo, hold on 1 minute, Smooth, I forgot to talk to you about something. Like, yo,
right.
You got a bat hanging from the cave.
Yeah.
Get that.
Yeah.
It's a one-away thing. I'm not be like, what's your big ass booger dangling from your like that? Yeah, that's soul crushing.
Yeah. I think that was part of it because again, I don't think I was the only person that felt that way, and nobody else wanted to say it. But I really could have took that person to the side, and said that,
Said something,
right? As opposed to, because again, if I took him to the side and said it, me noticing it, it may have been a bit embarrassing, but at least that person would have been like, okay, you're looking out for me to tell me that. The fact that I said it in front of everybody else no longer made it seem like
you're looking out for me.
I'm looking out for you, and now it just seems like
you're the butt of the joke.
Right.
Get that. I see that. Next question comes from Honey Dream 83. What should you read at least once in your entire life? Doesn't have to be a book.
Warning labels.
For what? Anything? Everything?
Some things.
I'm a hippie like that sometimes.
You live in it?
I'm a hippie like that sometimes. If I have an idea how certain things work, I kind of just run through and stuff.
Let me ask you this, because we'll go back to this. Let me ask you this though. How often when you get something that has a manual to it, do you read the manual?
That's what I was about to say. Because so back in the day, because I'm a gamer, right?
Right.
Or at least I'm damn near like off and on gamer. I have this thing where you buy the game, especially like a Sega Genesis used to give the cartridge.
Right.
They had this big ass book, little book inside the case. It's like this.
Yeah.
Or you can wing it. Until you get it.
Remember when games came with the book inside the case? Yeah.
And now games and stuff just come with a little paper thing and be like, hey, or some of them just come with nothing at all. Just come with like download code and that's it.
A lot of them will give you the like when you start playing that's part of the tutorial.
Right. So that, and then when I see most games stuff like that, I'm like, I need to read that fucking book. You're gonna show me any damn way. So I think that's the reason why like warning labels and stuff don't really like excite me and stuff.
Yeah.
If I have an idea,
right,
if I'm gonna do something, everybody should read. I think it's my final answer. Everybody should read Rudyard Kipling, the poem "If." Because we spoke about what's the most important thing a boy should know before becoming a man.
Yeah.
Humility. This is telling you like the best of times and it's telling you the worst of times, but you have to remain neutral.
Right.
To your best of your abilities and stuff like that. You know, if you can walk and talk with kings and not lose your common touch, right? Your commoner's touch. That's a heavy line and stuff, whatever, to me, because I look at it like in that poem.
Yeah. You mean don't start calling yourself public figure?
No.
Okay. I'm just making.
They didn't read If. They probably don't. The only Kipling they know is probably the Ave.
Kipling Ave.
That's fucking.
No. It's pulsating. I see it.
Serenity before insanity. I'm back.
Okay.
But yeah, If for me, I heard some, the Martin Luther King "I Have a Dream" speech.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're not far removed, but I feel like at that time that was that was needed.
Yeah,
Martin Luther King speech, that was needed. Have we got better and stuff since that time? You know what? We're so focused on the negative instead of the positive.
Right.
We have gotten better from that time. When was the last time you went somewhere you seen colored water fountain and white and black?
I would definitely say we've gotten better. Do we have ways to go? Yeah, we have ways to go. We've gotten better
and stuff for there. So I want to say, like, if somebody was to remix "I Have a Dream" speech and say it and stuff like that now, like for today's modern time,
right?
If they said like, okay, the difference is like verbatim, they remixed like line for line and put it in different, or said "I Have a Dream" speech. People will brush it off. People will legit brush it off.
Yeah.
Because like you have to talk to like what's into the now.
Right.
And at that time, that was the now.
Right.
And that worked.
Right.
right? And not saying it didn't work and stuff, it's not applicable and stuff now, but we've gotten better.
We've gotten better.
We haven't got to that promised land place where we thought that would have taken us.
Yeah.
But we've gotten better.
Right.
So I Have a Dream speech will probably be my second.
Okay. Yeah.
Last one comes from Joe Schro. What happens only in real life and never happens in the movies? No, so what happens only in real life and never happens in the movies?
Only happens in real life, but never happens in the movies.
Or I think that what happens in the movie. Oh no, what happens in the what can never happen in real life, but only happens in the movies. Sorry.
Okay.
A lot of shit.
Yeah.
A lot of fucking shit.
I've yet to witness one of those car chases where the entire city is wrecked.
My overthinking ass. I always feel like sometimes when I see some people, you know how you guys told me get the fuck out of the left lane.
Yeah.
I always feel like there's somebody when they're driving that fast and like I see police coming out for them. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gonna happen today. They're gonna crash. I'm saying, how am I explaining this to the insurance company?
Right.
There's a high speed chase.
Right.
We wrecked out this people and stuff like that, like bad boys and stuff like that. Ferrari's getting a whole bunch of cars. It's like, yeah, only in fucking movies. Only in the movies. I think the thing that pisses me off in movies the most when they're in the club. When they're in the club and they're talking. Oh, my blood pressure goes up. You know how many times I've been in a club? We came together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yo, you want something to drink?
What?
Real life. Real life.
What?
In the movie and stuff, whatever. Like, yeah, so I was talking to Sarah about my problems. In the movie, the music's like, I'm like, bitch, shut your ass up.
That is some real localized hearing you got.
Are you an X-Men? You got Wolverine hearing? Like, what the miss me with that shit. Yeah, man. We here. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Maybe we should go find some ayahuasca.
You let me know where it's at.
Let you know where it's at.
Let me know where it's at. Let me find a toilet so I can hide out and get ready to take it. We got the Associated Sons for the week. A little motivation for the masses. Associated Sons this week it says, it's not speed, but slowness to get to success. So says the Sons. I feel like a lot of people and stuff, they feel like they do 10 push-ups. Fuck it. They do 100 push-ups right now.
Right.
100 sit-ups. And they're supposed to have a god body. Or what is it? Is it Adonis?
Adonis.
Yeah, Adonis kind of body. It's not speed.
No.
Just because you got to 100 and stuff, congratulations. You did great. It's going to take some time.
It's going to take some time.
Consistency is
the
key.
Yeah.
So it's not speed, it's slowness and stuff for there because it's gonna eventually happen. And I always look at this stuff where, especially we were talking about businesses and stuff like that earlier.
Right.
I feel like some people and stuff, when they get into the business and stuff, they think automatic success is supposed to just take place. Like, okay, I make a podcast. Boom.
Yeah.
I'm rich. No, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time to build up and everything like that. I heard one person and stuff say, even at the wedding, not the girl you were talking to, not the woman you were talking to, but I heard somebody else's stuff and they're talking about, oh, they had a podcast and stuff too. So I'm like, oh, nice. I'm like, sweet. Because they're like, why did they choose you to be MC, whatever, right? I'm like, I'm a podcast and I ain't scared to talk to people and stuff like that, right?
Right.
So then they're like, oh, well, I have a podcast too. I'm like, oh shit, that's great. So I'm like, oh, that's good. How many episodes you have? Whatever, right?
Right.
I think maybe that was the wrong question I asked because like after that, I never seen the person the rest of the night. So I was like, when they said it, they're like, oh, I have about like, maybe like 4 episodes and stuff. I've recorded like 4 episodes. I'm like,
right.
Keep going. That's dope.
Yeah.
Well, how many episodes you have? I'm like, we almost at the 200 mark now. So the other person were like, 200? You don't have a podcast compared to him. I was like, that wasn't my intention to shit on you. I could have called you to the side, but I don't check for you, so I'm not going to check you quietly and stuff, whatever.
That wasn't intentions, and it took us time to get to there.
Time is what? Slowness, no?
Yeah.
Okay, no further
It took us time to get there.
That's what we have to say for the masses this week.
All right.
So
Take your time.
Take your time.
Take your time.
Slow down. So yes, folks, we are at the end. Once again, we like to thank you with our old slow asses for listening to the Podical Sons.
Thank you.
Remember the difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. Peace and love, y'all.
Peace and love.
Deuces.
The Podical Sons was not your average Joseph and so fucking marvelous.